Hi pals, it's me RT, they them pronouns only, and I'm fucking exhausted already. So this week's video, I did myself a New Year's tarot card reading. Seeing as the last tarot reading video did like reasonably okay, I thought I would do another one because it was a while ago now, probably 6 or so, maybe even more months ago. And like I just don't really do a lot of tarot readings for myself. I tend to just feel so overwhelmed and just busy and tired that I kind of forget to do them and kind of use them as a time to like check in with myself and how I'm feeling. So I wanted to do one for 2024. So I did this a little while ago. I don't actually remember when I did that video, but like it was definitely before the new year started. And I also used my new tarot cards that my friend got for me for my birthday that I hadn't used until then. She sent me a bunch of really great gifts for my birthday and I had a great time going through them and then put the box to one side and completely forgot about it. And then I found it again whilst I was doing some sorting out for my artwork being on display at the Query in Brighton for January. So then I was like, well, I can use 2 sets of tarot cards. So yeah, I used my usual set and this set. So I've written them wrong. I've written them in the wrong order, so I'm gonna have to like use my brain a bit. But the first card I pulled was the 6 of Cups, which is moving forward, leaving home and independence. I think a lot of this year will be based around moving things like my career forward, doing some things that are very uncomfortable and out of my comfort zone, particularly like socially, and finally accessing things to help me preserve my own independence, and possibly help me become more independent again. Yeah, particularly when it comes to like the adult social care stuff and waiting for assessments for that sort of thing, and PA stuff. And as well, actually, I obviously had my PIP reassessment as well, and I did this reading before I found out at least the draft report of the consensus of what the assessor thinks. And there were some good things on there too, so knock on wood that it goes in that direction. So yeah, starting off with good things and things that I tend to like to try and include and think about anyway every year. Then I had the 7 of Swords, which is deception, trickery, tactics and strategy. I think a lot of things are always going to happen where people you don't know or don't know very well, or businesses or governments use deceptive words, and yeah, the trickery tactics, and use their strategies to do things that aren't going to benefit anybody in a way that no one will really realise, or not many people will realise because of the language used. I've had a few of those more direct moments happen. There was definitely somebody who apparently wanted to do a guest blog for my blog, but they wanted me to include some cheeky links to their client and pay me only $100 for it when they're a UK based company, which is illegal. So I kept emailing back and forth being like, can you please clarify what you mean by this section, because if it's what I think you're asking, that is illegal. And they just kind of kept saying, yes, we want it to be discreet. I'm like, that's illegal. You have to like disclose those things. So, and yeah, I think this year in the UK as well will be another election. I don't know if I kind of get confused with what's a general election, local election. I don't really, this is exactly the point. I don't know the difference. A lot of the time the words are too similar and they confuse me. So I think we'll be seeing a lot of deception and trickery in the UK as it comes up to the election. So keep your eyes peeled, lads. Then I had the Ace of Wands, which is lack of energy. I think it was upside down as well. Some of these were upside down, but I didn't write that down. Don't know why. It'll be in the photos anyway that I'll share. But yeah, lack of energy, lack of passion, boredom, you know, things I struggle with anyway. Always struggling with a lack of energy. I definitely struggle with a lack of passion when I'm so overwhelmed with a million other monotonous things I have to deal with. And I have to keep changing things up and trying something new because I get bored so quickly. So that's not surprising, and I'm not that worried about it either. Then I have this Queen of Swords, which is cold-hearted, cruel, and bitterness. I don't really know what to comment on that one. I think that's a side of me that can exist and does exist, but also a side of a lot of people and services that I see as well. So I'm sure it's just gonna be the same old with that. Then I had Eight of Swords, which is imprisonment, entrapment, and self-victimization. Following that is the Knight of Wands, which is action, adventure, and fearlessness. Yeah, I think I would like to try this year to be a bit more active in dealing with and combating certain things that I deal with day to day. I think as well, looking back on the couple of videos I made towards the end of last year about like the chronic illness admin stuff. I can't remember what video it is I mentioned it in, but I think it was that second one, maybe another one after that. But yeah, I have made my decision to start putting in complaints with constructive criticism and ideas for improvement, because a lot of the time I have a very difficult relationship with the NHS, because yeah, in theory I love the NHS. I think it was a great idea. I think it was a really good thing to happen to the UK, and I believe as well, you know, two things can be true at once. It is a pretty horrific system for a lot of people to go through, especially if you're a complex case or not a very well understood demographic or have a condition that's not very well understood. And there are a lot of people in the NHS who are terrible people. And that's not even just to say like actually medical people, it's also a lot of the times just the admin. The admin staff can be some of the worst people to deal with. Those times that taking action might actually do something useful and might benefit you, but also other people. So whilst complaints themselves are not things I want to fucking do, because as I've also talked about before, other times I've done this, I have just been straight up gaslit and told that I'm making it up, or I can't remember what happened because I was in a emotional state. We can't just keep accepting this terrible care, the terrible admin teams who can't seem to do anything useful for any patient. And doing that, one, has benefited me. I actually got to see the fucking physio for the first time in like 2 months. Actually, yeah, in 2 months. And hopefully a cancellation list will be set up to benefit other patients. But also, again, back to like the Knight of Wands, because also I got this twice. I got it with my original cards. I also got it with my friend's cards that she bought me. So I think this is a particularly important card for me this year. Action, adventure, fearlessness. It's, yeah, trying to battle that fear that I have, because oh my god, at the moment I'm just constantly in fight or flight mode, and I have been for months, and I can't stop. Even if I'm resting, it is still going on. It's all physical. There's no mental patterns to argue with anymore. It's just my body responds to this shit happening all the time. Well, also in those lists of words is adventure, and I would like to have some more fun adventures, please. I'd wanted to see more people last year, but didn't really get around to it. So that's something I would like to do this year, is see more people, experience some kind of joy and also connection to other people, because that is something that I struggle with, being someone who is very rural. but also somebody who is chronically ill and really struggles on and off with pretty bad agoraphobia. And then I got... I'm so glad I've got a fucking breathing test coming this week, because I can't breathe. The next card I got was Temperance, which I can't remember if that was the Libra card or if that was the Hierophant. Also, I can't pronounce any of these words. But Temperance is for the middle path, patience and finding meaning. And I thought it was really funny because, as well, I pulled that card before I heard this phrase as well. But apparently a big thing in BPD therapies and stuff like that, courses, it's all about finding and walking the middle path. And I just thought that was really funny, especially as I will be starting my first ever course for that at the end of January. But yeah, I don't have patience. I have fuck all patience. I have none. I always feel that, yeah, finding the meaning in something has always been something that's been important to me and important to my well-being. I then had Page of Wands, which was about exploitation, excitement, and freedom. Bit of a weird selection of words, to be honest. I don't know how you get exploitation and excitement and freedom, but okay. And then I also got the Sun card, which was joy, success, celebration, positivity. So I feel like that's closer to the end of the year with a lot more of like reaping the benefits from what I am starting early in the year. Hopefully by the end of 2024, I will be the Sun card. So then I decided to pull from my friend's tarot card deck. Insert real-time me realising that I was wearing the same colour scheme as my friend's tarot cards. I feel like that was destiny. And I got Nine of Wands, which was resilience, grit, and last stand. Same. Can't read my own handwriting, it's horrific. Last stand, because yeah, I used my friend's cards as sort of like almost clarifying cards or like further context cards. And I feel like, yeah, this year, as with every year, is going to require my resilience, my grit, and that will leave me the last one standing. We'll see. And then I did get the Hierophant, which I did pair, I think, mentally with Temperance, because the Hierophant is tradition, comfort, morality, ethics. To be fair, it kind of goes with most things that I pulled this year. I can't remember what I was reading or watching recently. I mean, it honestly could have just been anything on my timeline because of watermelon and talking about boys, cots. And I like this idea of everything you do should fit within your own moral compass, and like I definitely feel like I try to do that anyway. I then got the Chariot, which has the words direction, control, and willpower associated with it. I am still not really sure where that fits for me this year. Again, I think linking that with the middle path, I struggle with control issues a lot, but a lot of the times for fair reasons. But it has also led to me enacting damaging behaviours for myself. So I guess it's, I don't know, finding the right direction and working on my own sense of control and the willpower to actually do some of those things, because I definitely struggle with willpower and motivation. Then I had the following one of a card of the Moon, unconscious, illusions and intuition, and I think that's just the general overarching of everything. I obviously paired that with the Sun, because obviously the Moon and the Sun go together. But I feel like to achieve more of the Sun, like joy, success, celebration, positivity, I need to listen to the Moon more, which is the unconscious, illusions, intuition, like listening to what I actually want, which has always been something that has been I've been unpicking for many years. What do I actually want? And then the final card I pulled was a bit of an interesting one. It was the Lovers, and it's for partnership, duality, and union. And I think over the last few years I have created and accumulated, I think that's the right word, friendships and friend groups, online, offline, that are very important to me and are very enriching to my life. And I'm starting to feel like maybe there's a different kind of partnership that I'm actually still looking for and would still like to find somewhere. Over the last 5.5, nearly 6 years, I have chosen to remain single for my mental health, for my physical health, and just generally for my self-esteem. With BPD, I had a lot of really toxic relationships and cycles I was in, which is something I've wanted to talk about more. So I think this year I'll talk more about those things, especially now I'm going through this steps course. So I think after my last relationship basically destroyed me right when I was doing something really important that I chose to do for myself, I decided that I needed to just fucking stop. And in that time, I've learned a lot about myself. I've learned a lot about people generally. I have learned a lot about communities and more about what I want and need from other people, friendship, family, relationships, like romantic, etc. That, yeah, at least now I have a starting point for that. So yeah, I think that's some of the earlier cards as well that's come up with a bit more context. More independence, moving forwards, literally leaving my home to do some of those things, and like the awareness of who I can be and what I can be like in some of those situations. But yeah, we will see. It was just a general reading. I wanted to see what the cards had for me and yeah, kind of reflect on myself and where I want to go this year with those things in mind as a prompt. I just wanted to share that with you because I think tarot cards can be quite a useful way of as self-reflection, journaling, making artwork, looking inwardly, possibly bringing up things that you either weren't even aware of, weren't even thinking about, didn't think was a problem, or didn't think was something you needed to think about at all. Yeah, like I don't take them too seriously, and I feel like in a spiritual way it's also based on the path that you're currently going down. So the cards could change, things could change, nothing is set in stone. It's all just dependent on where you're at when you're pulling those cards, where you are going already with those when you're pulling those cards. It's not fate. Things aren't set in stone. You can change things. It's just giving yourself that opportunity to think about it. And do you want to follow the path that the cards are showing you? So yeah, that's my reading for 2024. I don't know, maybe I'll come back to it at 6 months or towards the end of the year, see what I've done, I guess. See what things turned out to be correct and what things I actually went forward with doing. Let me know in the comments if you would like to see a follow-up video on that. Leave any questions you have about tarot reading, etc. I use a couple of sites as like resources because I do not remember what the cards mean off the top of my head. I have no idea. So I use a particular site for like basic, you know, like I've read out here, like basic few word summaries of what the cards mean. So yeah, don't forget to leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. We are not that far away from my 1k goal. Thank you. Share my videos if you like them or think somebody else would appreciate them or they would help somebody else, because yeah, there's a mixture of things on this channel. A lot of chronic illness, mental health, neurodivergent stuff, but also just some fun media analysis things too, which there are some coming, I promise. I finally sourced some secondhand DVDs so I could watch some bloody Grey's Anatomy episodes so I can talk about that. Finally. Took bloody ages because it's only on Disney Plus and I don't want to pay for Disney Plus. Thanks. So yeah, that's all from me this week and I'll see you next week. Bye. Why did I pick it up?